My name is Alara, and this is the confession I never told anyone. Before I was only 21. When it all happened, I was married back then. The world thought I was safe and settled with a husband who looked strong and powerful, but inside, I was lonely. He never loved me the way I needed. He treated me like I was something he owned, not someone he cared for. My life felt gray and empty until that one night when everything changed. It was a rainy evening. I remember the smell of wet earth and the cold breeze. I walked into a small cafe just to get out of the rain, and that's where I saw him. Adrian. He was sitting by the window, his dark hair wet from the rain, shining under the dim light, and then his eyes. God, those blue eyes. They were the kind of eyes you couldn't look away from, like the ocean hiding 1,000 secrets. My breath caught in my chest. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. I just stared. And then he looked at me. There was no lust in his gaze, no games, no arrogance, just innocence and warmth, like he could see right through me. I looked away, but my heart whispered, Lara, your life is about to begin. From that day, we kept meeting. Sometimes he would ask me to join him for coffee. Sometimes we'd walk in the park. His laughter felt like it was stitching up all the broken pieces inside me. I would listen to him for hours and wonder how an 18-year-old could carry so much depth in his words. One evening, he whispered, Alara, every time I look into your eyes, the world just stops moving. My heart trembled. I knew it was wrong. I was married. I had made vows. But love doesn't ask for permission, and my soul had already chosen him. That night came when we crossed the line. I still remember the way his hands held mine, the warmth of his touch, the sound of his heartbeat when I laid against his chest. For the first time in my life, I felt alive. I felt wanted. I felt seen. We gave ourselves to each other, and I knew in that moment I would never be the same again. But happiness never lasts long. One night, I left my phone on the bed. My husband came into the room, and his eyes caught the screen. Adrian's message was right there, glowing like fire. I love you, Ilara, forever yours. His face turned red with rage. He grabbed the phone and smashed it against the wall. I froze in fear, but it was too late. He knew everything. That was the beginning of hell. He went after Adrian with a fury I can't even describe. He beat him. He brought his friends and they hurt him again and again. I begged, I screamed, I cried, but no one listened. Every strike on Adrian's body felt like my own soul was breaking. One night my husband leaned down close to him and asked, do you really love my wife? Adrian was bleeding, bruised, but he still smiled and then said, if I didn't love her, I wouldn't be standing here taking all this pain. Tears burned my eyes. My husband's face twisted with madness. He lifted his gun and said, say it one more time and I'll end you right here. Adrian didn't flinch. He looked into his eyes and whispered, I love her and I will love her until my last breath. The gunshot cracked through the air. I ran inside. My Adrian was on the ground, blood soaking his shirt. His breaths came slow, shallow. I dropped beside him, held his head in my lap. My tears fell on his face. He looked up at me with those ocean blue eyes and smiled weakly. You're here with me. That's all I ever wanted. His chest rose one last time, and then it stopped. My whole world shattered. I screamed, I clawed at my husband, but he ran. I held Adrian's lifeless body in my arms, and I knew something inside me had died too. That night, I made my choice. I would never stay with a man who killed the only love I ever had. I left everything behind, and I ran, carrying nothing but the memory of Adrian's last smile. Even now, when I look into the mirror, I see his reflection in my eyes, and my heart whispers, love was never wrong. The world was just too cruel.